I've been a fan of Bose products for as long as I can remember, and I still love my 3-year-old Bose QC35 twos. And I even recently replaced the very worn out earpads. And despite it being relatively old tech, I find that the sound and active noise canceling are still pleasant and more than enough for what I need. But last week I was at a local Best Buy store and I saw that the Bose QC45, their latest over the ear noise canceling headphones, were on sale for Black Friday at $80 less than retail price. And they even had the limited gray and copper color in stock. So I bought it. But I kind of regret it. And I'll tell you why. The Bose QC45s are nearly identical to the QC35s, which I actually like. And I've tried the Bose 700 before, and though they were just as comfortable and sound slightly better than the QC35s, I decided that the design just isn't for me. So I held on to the QC35s because they were the perfect daily headphones for me, for comfort, sound, ANC, and looks. I even decided to try a more premium set of headphones by Bowers & Wilkins, which are the PX7s, and I found them to sound much better than the Bose, but also less comfortable. So when I had the chance to upgrade to the QC45s, I had certain expectations. They were most probably going to be just as comfortable as the QC35s, but sound much better, perhaps even rivaling the PX7s in terms of sound quality. I was almost certain of this. Unfortunately, the moment I opened the box, I was somewhat disappointed from the start. Like I said, they are nearly identical to its predecessor, the QC35s, but the color on the box don't seem to match the actual color of the headphones, at least to my expectations. I was expecting a darker shade of gray, but I was greeted with a significantly lighter, and I wasn't even aware that this was possible, but a blander shade of gray. The copper colored logo did look nice, however, it's also printed on the headphones and not raised like the previous generation. Everything else remained largely the same, aside from the updated USB-C port on the QC45s as opposed to the micro USB in the QC35s. In the 35s, the button on the left ear cup activates your smart assistant, but now on the 45s, it's used to toggle between quiet mode and aware mode. Quiet mode basically is noise canceling, which reduces external noise from your environment, and aware mode is sound transparency that lets you hear your surroundings using special microphones. Now, I'll get to those two features in a bit, but let me first address what I think is the most important feature of premium headphones, which is sound quality. The 45's sound quality is noticeably clearer than the 35's. The bass is slightly better on the 45's, and the sound separation is definitely much more pronounced. I know it already sounds like it's a winner, but this is actually where it made me dislike it. While the highs and the mids are very clear, they are so far separated from each other that I usually have to crank up the volume for the 45s when I'm listening to less bassy music. It's such a weird sound signature, like the highs are so far forward and the mids are way in the back. So when everything comes together, I feel like there's something missing in the middle. And that's just the best way I could describe it as a non audiophile. Sure, acoustic songs sound better on the 45s because you hear more of the details, but EDM or R&B sounds a bit too tinny for my liking due to the pronounced highs. However, I have to clarify that the Bose QC45s do not sound bad. As a matter of fact, they sound good. But I don't think they're good enough to be upgrading from the QC35s, even at the discounted price of around $250. Actually, more like $230 if I decided to buy them during Cyber Monday instead of Black Friday. I seem to have very bad luck with headphones, like my PX7 experience. But anyway, I won't be covering much of the comfort aspect of these because in my book, the Bose still win in this category with the Sony XM4s or XM5s at a close second. They're just really comfortable. The end. What I do want to briefly cover is the quiet mode and the aware mode. So quiet mode or ANC on works amazingly well. Definitely better than the QC35s. But I don't have to go hardcore scientific as to how much better since my use case scenarios are usually when I'm working at home and there's a few distractions here and there, such as my neighbor mowing the lawn, for example. The aware mode or sound transparency is what I am more interested in. I told myself that if this performs well enough in this category, then I might consider keeping them. Unfortunately, they don't. I mean, they work. I can certainly hear my environment with aware mode on, but it still sounds like I have cotton balls in my ears. They just don't perform as well as the adaptive sound transparency of the AirPods Pros. Call quality is nothing to write home about, but for the sake of those who are curious, here's a sample sound coming from the microphones of the Bose QC35 2s. And here is a sample of the sound coming from the microphones of the Bose QC45s. Now, I'm aware that I didn't even touch on battery performance, and to be honest, battery life has never been an issue for me, even with the QC35s. Unless I'm traveling all by myself for hours on end, then it might be something I would consider, but I don't. Despite the lackluster performance of the Aware mode, the Bose QC45s are arguably better than the QC35s they replaced. So why then do I regret buying them? Well, it really has to do with the price I paid for the premium experience, and at its discounted price of $250, they are great entry-level headphones in this market segment and will probably make most people happy. But you can also get the Bowers & Wilkins PX7 on Amazon, at least at the time of this video, for only around $30 more. Though not as comfortable as the 45s, they are definitely not uncomfortable. The PX7s have decent active noise cancellation, but they don't have sound transparency. However, if I'm being honest, the 45's aware mode is also something that isn't really worth mentioning. But what you do get is amazing sound compared to the 45's and build quality that reminds you that you are actually holding a product that originally cost $400. They don't collapse like the 45's, but when both headphones are in their cases, there's very little difference in footprint, in my opinion. Honestly, I was expecting the difference in sound performance from the 35 to the 45 to be near the sound of the PX7, but they're not. So unless your priority is comfort or ANC, the PX7s are a better buy at this price range for the sound alone. And if you're looking for a good combination of great sound, fantastic ANC, and even better sound transparency in this price segment, you might want to give the second generation AirPods Pro a try. Yes, they do sound good, and most of the time I even prefer them over my PX7s. You can actually watch my video review on the AirPods Pro by clicking on the link at the top of the screen and see why I am slightly annoyed at how good they are. I still love Bose, and I've given the 45s enough listen time in the last few days to really decide if I want to keep them. But the fact that I'm trying to find reasons to justify them already tells me that I should probably return them. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you feel differently about the 45s down in the comments section, and please consider subscribing to the channel. This helps me grow and create more content for you to watch and enjoy for free. Be safe, and I'll see you again soon.